Okay, so here are some of the graphs that I would like to show you. First of all, we shall begin with butterfly. So this equation right here managed to, just this single equation over here, managed to create this beautiful art piece that appears to look like a butterfly. Then we've got some alien rocks for rock weird formation of geometric lines. So if you zoom out like this, and you'll find that the overall product, the big picture, turns out to be something quite unique and aesthetic. So if I go back, the third graph that I discovered was a cherry. Just using this single graph, you can, this part seems like a particular lighter region, for a reflection of light. Then we have a paper windmill. In where I come from, you will find a lot of these in carnivals and festivals where small children try to, run around holding these. And as you can see over here, this one big long equation managed to create this unique art piece. Like, it's wonderful because none of these are man-made. All I did was I just randomly discovered them. And then there is a pickaxe. It looks like a pickaxe they use for mining. Minecraft players will definitely be familiar with them. We have a spider, a stick bug. And as you can see here, if you keep zooming in, the structures seem to evolve into different and much more peculiar shapes indeed. But it does not continue forever. This also proves that math is not always consistent. But by now, it should be an unlimited number of, as you can see here, there are lines. So if you go back, voila, you can see that this is actually the pickaxe. It's the same equation as the pickaxe. So you can just zoom in at the apex of the pickaxe, and you can see that you know the overall structure emerges out. Then we have a maple leaf in just one single equation. We managed one inequality. I mean, we managed to shade the entire region. It looks like a maple leaf. Then there is a fan palm leaf. It looks like, in Bangladesh we call it tal gach, a leaf like that. Then we have some saint wings and halos. This is another unique shape. And also notice that all of these are just based on one single equation. This is the main point that I would like to focus on, like you guys to focus on. But a single equation is managing to create all of these unique equations. I mean graphs. This is also another very unique shape. And this is one of my favorites. This is a flower of detonation. Like you can see here, it looks as if it's a sketch by some artist. But if you zoom in, this is indeed it is an art piece. It is, and the artist is God himself. So you can just take a glimpse at the limits and the possible creations that we can come across if we try to venture deep into mathematics. Abstraction 787. This is a fair modification of the warrior's cardioid that I showed earlier. Then we have the Assassin's Creed logo. Assassin's Creed is a game that you all might be familiar with, And this equation managed to generate a logo quite similar to that. If you zoom out, like the shape becomes more apparent. Well, if any Ubisoft employee or staff member is watching this, then I will give you guys a big thumbs up. Hope you're, interested by these discoveries. You have a thorny aster. Well, I don't know what an aster flower looks like, but well, I just thought of naming it like that. Then we have the toxic orchid, another flower-like shape, just based on one equation. Cursed diamond. This is a crystalline structure, four-dimensional wormhole. It isn't actually four-dimensional, but if you zoom in, and due to the consecutive lines, adjacent lines quite close to each other, it seems to generate a 3D effect. Like it goes through the pages, through the graph paper. And as you can see here, this too is just based on a single equation. Then we have a dragon scale bracelet. It looks like a dragon scale if you zoom out enough. And a Batman logo. There is another alternative version like Among Us. This here is a Among Us character using only two equations. I've seen other people try to create these shapes as well, but I managed to do them using the minimum number of equations possible. And this is an Arcanius Tourbillon. Well, I just came up with these random names just because, they seem very arcane and interesting. Also note that, in every case I have written that these were first discovered by me. Well, actually, it is true, but like I would greatly love to see that if anyone else has found any of these equations before me, I'd be greatly pleased to know that. But I can at least guarantee that I don't think you'll find it before. And even if you do, perhaps it is one of my other channels because I have several channels on YouTube. And this is a rather iconic shape, although, well, it's iconic because it just used one equation. Then this would be a great tattoo design. Although I would not recommend people to get tattoos. In our religion, it is certainly sinful to decorate our bodies like this. And from afar, it looks like a sword. And if you zoom out, due to the existence of symmetry, there is a sword. I mean, it looks like a glaive, a double-bladed sword or weapon in a fantasy world. Well, we are almost near the end of the list. Well, this may look a bit like a rabbit's face if you try to zoom out. And from afar, it looks a bit like Darth Vader from Star Wars, don't you think? And there is another mesh-like structure that seems to look a bit like a rabbit. Or maybe it looks like a knot, like a ribbon, you tied it up. And this is another one of my favorite designs that would make a great logo for a cult or any, dark magician's icon in a fantasy game or a story. And as always, all of these are unique because they just use one equation. Can you just believe it? That, a single equation like this can create such an amazing and miraculous piece of art like that. It's, mind blowing even for me. Like, I'm the person who discovered these graphs. And even for me, like I found this very, very interesting. And lastly, here is the golden ratio. This is supposed to be a bonus, so bear with me. As you could, first of all, you have to just position yourself so that the 0, 0 coordinate, the origin is right at the middle of the screen. Now you can use the controls over here, zoom in, or I would prefer use your mouse. Slowly, very slowly. Go, zoom, zoom in, zoom in. Now this equation here is a polar equation that is based directly on the golden ratio, which is why I've colored it golden. Well, on Desmos, this is the closest color that I found that would be suitable for gold. And meanwhile, let me just say one thing for sure, that all of these equations are genuine. I shall definitely leave a link to the website where I've stored all the equations as well as the links to these Desmos what do you call these projects, so you can check them out at your own convenience. You can play around with them. You can even discover your own graphs if you can. Well, although it takes a lot of time and patience and a lot of experimentation, trial and error, it took me about a week to get to know all of these, and the entire week I did not, watch TV or play games. I did not do anything at all. All I did was study, and for leisure purposes, I just played around with equations. And most definitely, it's not that these equations will only be possible to be visualized via decimals. You could try any other sort of graphing software as well. Well, we are also at the end of this golden ratio equation. As you can see here, that patterns evolve over time. Like if you just zoom out, it looks very different from what you've just seen that lies at the near the origin. There's a void of space over there. Likewise, like why do you think I showed you all of these equations? Well, first reason is that like I just wanted everyone else to know about my discoveries. I tried to compile a book about this as well. You can check it out on Wattpad. You can read. There is a free trial edition where you can just take a look at the graphs. There are screenshots. There are also some abstract graphs as well as some crazy maths. And there are also some videos embedded inside for where there is lots of trial and error experiments, and not all of the shapes were uh, meaningful, as meaningful as the ones that I showed you. Well, anyways, this was Dewan Mukto, aka Mukto DMI, as well as Mukto Dibas. I hope you really enjoyed this. Please be sure to send this video to your math teacher. I'm sure both he will be impressed as well as he will be impressed for you as well for showing it to you. And if you're a math teacher who is currently watching this, then a great big salute to you, dear sirs and madams. You are the people who enlighten us and motivate us to plunge deeper into this very, into this interesting realm known as mathematics. And what I tried to do was combine logic with creativity. Like some people say that logic and creativity are completely different things that they can never be combined together. Well, this video is a proof that art and mathematics can coexist together. Well, that's all. Have a nice day.